Hello everyone, my name is Jack and I'm here to assist you in your journey in passing the 70761 exam. And in this video I like to chat about filtering character data and date and time data. So to get started with this query, we have select EMPID, first name, last name from HR.employees where last name equals Davis. So as you can assume, we're going to get all the rows where that last name equals Davis. So we can try this. And we get Sarah Davis. Going forward, we have that same query, this time with the letter N in front of it, and just to run it quickly, we're going to get the same result, Sarah Davis. What this is doing, this is making it so that the server doesn't have to convert this Davis data type to the last name data type. So in other words, this is a varchar, and this last name is an N varchar. So with this first query, we're sort of giving the server a little extra work. So the second one is the more optimal way to run this query. Going forward, we have select EMPID, first name and last name from HR.employees, where last name like, I had a %S here, so what this is doing is going to return all the values where the last name ends with the letter S. So if we try this, we're going to get Davis and someone with last name of Sir. So if we're going to maybe change this, we could try just a D in the beginning here and see what happens. And look at that, we get Davis and Doyle. Going forward, we have this query, select order ID, order date, EMPID, CUS ID from sales.orders, where order date is 2/12/16. So if you're in the US, you're going to understand what this means. However, if you're Japan or Russia or whatever country you're in, you may not understand what this date actually is. But let's run this and we'll get these three rows that have dates on February 12th of 2016. And with this query here, this is more of a language neutral or a location neutral, right? Wherever you are on the earth, you may understand what this means. This is a year, month, day format, so 2016 02/12. And in this query, we're going to get the same results. Going forward here, what we're doing in this query, we're going to be creating a table, and we're going to be taking order date and casting it as a date time. So we're casting it into a date time format, which is this format right here. So we're selecting order ID, we're getting order date, putting it into this format right here, and we're giving it the column name order date, and we're getting EMPID, CUS ID. We're putting this into sales.orders2, so we're putting it into a new table called sales.orders2, and we're getting all this data from the sales.orders table. And we have this right here because if we run this query multiple times, we're going to have to keep changing this table name since you can't have two tables with the same name. So that's why we have drop table if exists. So let's run this. Going forward, we're going to select data, or I should say columns from that table, the sales.orders2. In this case, we're going to do order date between April 1st, so starting on April 1st and going forward, and ending the last day of April, and almost around the last little millisecond of the day, you can argue, right? So let's try this query here. So we should expect to get all the rows that fall in April, right? And so far so good. But if we keep going here, I'm sorry that my fan on my computer may be a little loud right now. We get 5/1. So this query is no good. We're still getting orders that are in May, and what I really wanted orders that were in April. And to go a little further down this point, if we just cast this date into that date format, we get 5/1, and it's kind of odd because that's obviously not a date in May, right? But the date time format only stores these two or these three values in its milliseconds, 0, 3, 7. So if you have 8, it's going to round down to a 7. If you have 9, it's going to round up to 0. If you have 4, it's going to round to a 3. If you have a 6 here, it's going to round to the 7. So I'm just going to leave that 9 though. Keep going here. The recommended way to do this is to use a couple more operators. So greater than, equal to that year, month, date format, and the date is less than that year, month, day format. So let's run this. We can scroll down here. It's looking the same so far, but let's see. And look at that, it ends on 4/30, so we didn't get any rows that have a 5/1 date. So that's that though for filtering character data and date and time data. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or reach out to me directly. And as always, thank you.